Money feels like it's slipping through your fingers, right? Like no matter how sharp you are, how much you read, how many bets you place, the market just has this sneaky way of punching you in the gut when you least expect it. You watch others, hedge funds, those shadow players, making moves that look like magic. They win when the world tumbles, when the chaos turns everything upside down. You've got to wonder, how? How do they pull it off when the rest of us are left scrambling? You're not alone in this feeling. It's like the system is rigged, designed to keep most of us chasing our tails, while the few at the top quietly stack their chips. But deep down, here's the truth you need to hear. Hedge funds aren't winning by chance. They're winning because they see the game nobody else notices. And understanding their edge might just be the spark you need to stop losing and start taking control. Think about it. In a world overloaded with information, flashing numbers, endless news cycles, and emotional noise, hedge funds move calmly, almost coldly, like they have a map when everyone else is lost in the fog. But it's not just about insider info or fancy algorithms. No, it's their mindset. Their ruthlessness in questioning the accepted story, their refusal to trust the comforting consensus, their obsession with what lies behind the curtain, that's the real secret. They don't follow the market, they hunt the market. They don't trade hope, they trade probabilities. And that, if you can grasp it, changes everything. Being a successful macro investor, especially a hedge fund manager, isn't about playing safe or following the herd. It's about seeing the cracks in the foundation of what everyone believes is stable. It's about daring to be lonely, to think differently, to embrace discomfort as the price of freedom. At this point, you might feel a knot inside. The pressure of being an investor, a leader, someone who's supposed to make sense of all this mess and come out ahead. It's crushing. Every decision feels weighted with risk. Every whisper of a market shift sends anxiety spiraling. And yet, ironically, this pressure can become the very cage that holds you back. You're caught between wanting certainty and fearing loss. The world tells you to diversify, to hedge your bets, to play it safe. But what if that's exactly what keeps you from breaking through? What if the real wins come when you reject the noise, strip away the comforting lies, and stare down the chaos with clear eyes? Hedge funds win because they don't settle for half measures. They build strategies that aren't just reactions. They're creations, born from deep, sometimes brutal understanding. And it's that clarity, that cold, uncompromising look at reality, that turns risk into opportunity. Here's where it gets personal. Because winning the macro game isn't a fantasy reserved for the few elite, it's a skill you can develop. But it requires burning your old beliefs. Forget what you thought investing was about. It's not about predicting the future with perfect accuracy. That's a myth. Instead, it's about mastering the art of adaptability. Hedge funds survive and thrive because they have a system of constant revaluation. When data changes, when politics shift, when economies wobble, they pivot quickly, ruthlessly. Imagine if you had that agility. Imagine if you became hostile to comfort zones, never settling, always scanning for the real pulse beneath the chatter. That's the real edge. It's messy, it's stressful, but it's absolutely necessary. Because the world isn't static. It's a living beast that's as unpredictable as it is full of hidden patterns. The real game is learning how to spot those patterns before everyone else does. This requires a different kind of discipline, one that most investors don't have. It's a discipline to question everything relentlessly, to break apart your own assumptions daily, to recognize that every truth in the market is fragile, a house of cards that can collapse with a single unexpected move. Hedge funds are fearless about this. They don't worship the status quo. They dismantle it. You need to adopt that ruthless scrutiny. Look at news, data, policy, not as fixed signals, but as pieces in a constantly shifting puzzle. Be suspicious of consensus because consensus means complacency. The moment the crowd agrees, the opportunity vanishes. The real winners are the ones dancing alone on the edge, where discomfort lives, where clarity sharpens like a blade. And here's the thing. Strategy alone won't get you there. You need the right networks, the right connections. Hedge funds don't operate in isolation. They have access to intelligence, to alternative thinking, to counterintuitive insights. This is why being part of a small circle of sharp minds matters so much. Connection is power, but not connection for comfort or belonging. It's connection for challenge, for brutal honesty, for pushing your understanding beyond where you think it can go. If you find yourself stuck, feeling like you're the only one questioning everything, you're on the right path. The system wasn't built for people like you. It was designed to keep the many in place, safe within borders of normalcy and consensus. But you don't need the system to win. You need to build your own infrastructure, your own network that values truth over comfort, depth over noise, quality over quantity. You've felt the itch to transcend the roles and titles, haven't you? To become more than a cog in the machine. To break free from the illusions sold by media, by politics, by institutions that pretend to empower while quietly clipping your wings. Hedge funds have cracked this code, not by submitting, but by transcending. They are sovereign thinkers acting in the shadows, refusing to be boxed in, stubbornly patient, playing the long game when others demand quick fixes. That patience, that refusal to rush, to chase every shiny headline, is what separates the real winners from the crowd chasing mirages. You need to cultivate the same ruthless patience. Remember, true power doesn't come from speed or volume. It comes from precision and timing. And timing comes from understanding the cracks others overlook. It might feel lonely forging this path, looking at a world that seems to reward mediocrity and conformity. But that's exactly why it's necessary. The very fact that the market, the system, prefers the average means the exceptional is undervalued, that the rare edge is still there for the taking. Hedge funds win because they exploit that misalignment. They thrive where others fear to look. You can too. You just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, fearless in your curiosity, and relentless in your pursuit of truth. It's not easy. It demands brutal honesty with yourself and the courage to burn the rule book when it fails you. But once you do, you become unstoppable. Here's a bulletproof truth to hold on to. The game you're playing isn't the only one. No one forces you to play by the old rules. Hedge funds win because they rewrite the rules on the fly. They are not slaves to the past or the illusions of stability. You need that mindset too. Question everything. Build streams of data and insight that aren't mainstream. Use complexity instead of shying away from it. Develop scenario thinking so sharp it slices through uncertainty. Partner with a few select people who push you to be better. And yes, burn what feels comfortable if it holds you back. If you want to be a leader, a real macro master, you don't wait for permission. You take ruthless ownership over your reality. The power the system fears most is that of the liberated individual, the one who no longer buys the lies, who stops playing safe because playing safe is what keeps you in chains. Hedge funds are not just about money. They're about power. The power to move freely, to transform uncertainty into opportunity, to create value when others only see risk. That power is available to you if you look hard enough and act boldly enough. This means stepping out from behind the screen of noise and distraction, the endless cycles of rehashed news, the comfort of consensus. It means embracing the reality that what you know today could be wrong tomorrow. That's the edge. Because when you stop fearing uncertainty and start treating it as the playground it is, you gain the upper hand. So here's the challenge. Stop chasing the easy story. Stop hoping for stability in a world built on shifting sands. Instead, get obsessed with what's really going on beneath the surface. The geopolitical fault lines, the shifts in capital flows, the cracks in government policies, the signals from obscure corners of the global economy. Hedge funds have eyes everywhere because they know opportunity hides in shadows, in whispers, in things most dismiss. Build that same vision. Develop your own radar tuned not just to what's popular, but to what's possible. That's how you win the macro game in a way few ever will. This isn't luck or magic. It's radical clarity and relentless action. At the end of the day, winning like a hedge fund means becoming the disruptor, not the disrupted. It means breaking free from the conditioned mind that accepts limits. It means becoming a collector of precious insights, a trader not just of assets but of ideas, a strategist who turns chaos into order through fierce, unwavering will. If you can embody that, if you can refuse the status quo and rewrite your own rules, you're no longer just a player. You are the game changer. And remember, that path demands fire, not comfort, courage, not consensus, patience, not impatience. It's hard, it's lonely, but it's the only way to truly win. So don't look away. Don't quit. The very fact this pulls at you, that you can feel the weight and the possibility, means you're closer than most to unlocking what hedge funds already know. That winning the macro game isn't about secrets. It's about mindset, discipline, connection, and ruthless clarity. Start building that power now. Because money might flow like water, unstoppable and wild. But with the right vessel, with the right edge, that flow can be tamed and turned into your greatest strength. This is your moment to stop being the spectator and start owning the game. The floor is yours.